Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to do something strange. I'm not exactly 100% sure what this video is. Because I found an acoustic guitar that I decided I was going to do something with. I was going to turn it into a left-handed guitar, first of all.
Yeah, boy.
And then I was going to do something interesting and exciting with it. And the journey kept changing along the way. And I kept trying to find something interesting, which I never did. So, yeah, that's it. No, but maybe the journey, maybe the work that was put into this video, even if it didn't end in anything particularly interesting, is still interesting. So that's why I'm not scrapping this entire thing and editing it and trying to make it become more seamless than it actually is. This is over a very long period of time. I got the guitar in October, if I remember correctly. No, September, actually. At the end of September, I got the guitar. And yeah, it's been half a year or even more so now. Then I've just kept working on it and kept changing things. So yeah, this video is me sort of trying to make it more streamlined and editing it down into something that is close to bite size.
No.
Maybe not completely, but I hope you guys will enjoy this journey of this guitar that spanned, several months and several different ideas. Some that never got in, to be a part of the video, and some that was edited out, and some that I kept in it because at the end of the day, even if something is a failure, it's a lesson learned. So then it's okay. Maybe. Anyway, here's the video. Enjoy. If you're new here, this is a sort of one-off video, so don't judge everything else on my channel from what you see in this video. So you can still subscribe. There's a bunch of fun videos that you can watch. If you like the video, don't forget to like it. And if you're new here, subscribe for a bunch of fun things that are coming, but also that already exist on the channel. So yeah, the video starts now. So tuners have screws on the back that holds them in place and aligns them with the top, so that the two pieces, the front and the back, will go together. Obviously, it doesn't matter on this guitar because the holes are too big and the bushings on the front are just falling out. But in theory, that's how things are supposed to be. And so I'm just going to take all these screws out and remove these tuners. Different tuners work differently when it comes to how you disassemble them, but these tuners are very easy because they're two pieces held together with the screws that goes into the neck. So I'm managing to take it off, and in here I can see the gear. And that's really good. If you can get to the gears, if you can get to this stage on any tuners, you can get in there and you can put some grease and make them better. And I'll do that later. We'll take a look at that. But first, let's just remove these tuners.
1 hour later.
Alright, so here is the guitar now without any tuners. And then if we flip this around, we have the front here. And we need to take a little bit of tape, just to make things easier for ourselves and to be accurate. I'll take this tape here and I'll put it across the top here. Just a piece, like so. And we'll just take a measurement here, like so, from this edge to that edge. And then we're going to divide that in half. Like that. And then we'll measure from one side and make a mark, like so. And we'll measure from the opposite side as well and make a mark. And that is just so that we are certain about where the middle is. There it is. And we can use something like this, maybe? Can we? To draw that line a little bit extra, something like that. I hope you can see the line. I have this template that I've made here. I want to put this here, but I feel like this nut here, which we're gonna have to replace anyway, is a little bit in the way. So, quick little tap, break it off. Didn't hit very hard at all. Never hit your guitar very hard, just a little bit to help it. And now I have more space to try to align this so it lies neatly. I'm gonna do the same thing on this end, just to be careful and sure of myself.
I have a center line on everything. We need some double-sided tape. Not too much, just a bit. Now some of you might wonder why I haven't cut this out in all ways, but this is the only part of the template that I care about right now. I'm just trying to align this to the best of my ability. Yeah, something like that. I'm just going to give it a quick little press, and while I fix some other things, I'll just put a clamp on it. This is a little bit of it's a bit too big of a clamp, and it's a little bit too heavy, I think. But it will have, it's just going to have to do. I'll be right back with the next step. Alright, so this might be like hard to see, but hopefully you'll get it. That's my vise right here. And over it I have made this like O shape that I've clamped the neck and the template to through that, so that I can clamp it into the vise. It's like a double clampy thing. If I zoom out a bit, whoops, whoa, you can see the whole thing, and the guitar body is floating over there, and it's all securely in place. Now, let's zoom in a bit. I can hopefully just come in with my router and remove the excess. So, ear protection on, turn the electricity on, bring in my router, move this up so that it will cut. And now I'm just going to slowly remove this excess here. It's good, it's all the way I wanted it. Seems like we had a little bit of tear out there, so we're going to have to do something about that. Alright, so here is the guitar, or rather, the most importantly, here is the headstock. It looks, I think this looks better. It's a simpler, easier design, without making it too much fuss about it. Now, I'm going to remove the lacquer on the neck, and the reason why is two reasons. And one is there is some sort of thing that has been happening and it's flaking off in certain areas. I can sort of just scrape it off with my nail, and I kind of don't like that, because it might mean that there is some moisture in the neck and I want to get rid of it. You can maybe see it a little bit, I don't know if you can, but there are a couple of areas where this has occurred. And I just want to remove the lacquer, leave the guitar for a little bit, and take a look and see what is actually going on. And see if the neck is, you know, falling apart on me, for example, which it might actually be, because I have a crack up here that I didn't see when I bought the guitar. Anyway, also, there are a couple of dings and scratches here that I want to sand out and make smooth and nice. And it's just going to be easier to do that without the lacquer. And I feel like, you know, maybe thinning out the neck a little bit as well. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. And giving it a little bit faster feeling, so that, I don't know, we'll see. But first, let's remove the lacquer and possibly the binding as well, since we have to fill these holes and attach them to this side. I don't know, we'll see. Let's see if we can remove this lacquer here. I have a heat gun. Never stand still in one spot with the heat gun. This is a windshield scraper for the winter, you know, to use on your car. And when I try to remove lacquer and I don't care about the end result, I usually use a knife, but sometimes I want something a little bit softer. And so I try to use something like this. You know, it has a plastic. It won't dig into the wood, or at least not that much. But it will remove the heated lacquer. And just go back and forth and just, you know. Okay, so all the lacquer is gone from the neck, basically, and it needs sanding. But first, you can see how the binding is coming loose, and I'm gonna see if I can just peel off the sides. I mean, at least this side is very easy. And yeah, there we go. I got it off all in one go. Somewhat okayish.
I regret nothing. The end.
Can I get this one off as well, or do I need to? There it goes. And yeah, the idea here was maybe I can just flip the binding around and just glue it back on the opposite side. And then I would have everything I need. Now I just need to find out a way to pull these little fret markers out. If I pull the guitar up to the side like this, you can see the fret marks. So maybe I can just pull them out. Nope, that one broke. That one came out. There is some residue on the side here from the glue, and it's not the kind of glue that you're usually using. It's something weird. So I'm just gonna dab on a little bit of acetone and leave that on there and just see what happens. And hopefully we don't have something weird going on the inside of the neck that means that we will have to remove the entire fretboard and re-glue that, because that would actually be really annoying. Let's see, do we have a razor blade over there? Let's start up here where it's a little bit easier and see if we can peel it, or if we need... I don't know. Doesn't seem right. Maybe I need to leave the acetone on for a bit longer before I touch it.
10,000 years later.
Okay, so here is the neck now, and it's not perfect, but I hope I can make it even better once I go to the sanding. But I feel like that's actually worked out pretty well. It wasn't that hard to do, and except for a little bit of smudging right here where there is a little bit of the red from the neck in it, I think it was worth doing. And when I go to sand and smooth everything out and, you know, make the transition a little bit better, hopefully I can also fix that. The issue is that the fretboard is a painted fretboard, which you can see a little bit there. I hope you can see it, or, you know, hope is maybe the wrong word. I mean, I wish you couldn't see it. It's bad. But anyway, I'm gonna flip the guitar over and hit something on the ceiling as I do so. No, but I want to work on the guitar from this side, I think. And with you guys over here instead, and the camera like that, something, we can continue. Now this I think is going to be harder, to be perfectly honest, because this is, it has the side dots as well, and all of that. I think it might be difficult. For a number of reasons. But here it goes, in like that. So yeah, first off, we're going to do the same thing. So the same steps, if we can. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Right. First, clean off the binding just a little bit to remove some of the excess, to smooth it out. Just so we can melt things. And I'm scraping with a razor blade, like I just did before. Just using the acetone to soften up this weird glue, whatever it is. It reminds me of the kind of glue you use when you're gluing leather together. That sort of tight bond thing. For leather work, it's a sort of it's a strange glue for leather working. And it's not supposed to be used on wood. But it doesn't make any sense. You know? Like that. Okay, that's better. Good. Press it in place. Alright, I'm gonna leave the binding and this mess for a bit because I want it to really gas off and get all the acetone to disappear before I continue working on it. It looks a little bit sloppy and a little bit messy right now, I know, but hopefully I can clean it up and fix it and make it a little bit better. Yeah, I also need to figure out what I want to do with the holes on the side for the fret markers, which I haven't really decided right now, right at this moment, I don't know. But anyway, let's move on to these two parts. This, we're just gonna remove. There we go. I actually thought that would be even harder. So yeah. Something like that. Is there some residue here? A little bit. Give me a sec.
An eternity later.
Let's see if a little bit of water can clean that up. Something like that. No, not really.
An eternity later.
So here is the new bridge. And obviously I hope you can see it's angled the opposite, a little bit different, but I hope this can fit there. Now the question is, how do I get this off? There we go. Oh, I'm an idiot. It's screwed down, and I knew it was because I could see those two dots on it. Why didn't I put 2 and 2 together? Okay, we have a little bit of damage there. We have a little bit of an up bow. We have these 2 screws that we have to get rid of. That one doesn't want to come out. How are you doing? Doesn't want to come out either. What the hell? Okay, so let me just explain what I've done. I have removed the bridge, which you saw me do, or at least I hope I filmed it. Here I have the new bridge. It's going to go on. I've marred up the area a little bit, and I've marred up the back of this. I don't know if you can tell, but I have. And now I'm going to glue this on here. I have a piece of wood here that is clamping everything down because this has a slight up bow, and I want to correct that and make it flat again. Now, it's so little that I hope that just clamping this down and gluing this down and getting it really stuck there will be enough to balance everything out, so that once this has dried completely, I can remove these clamps and everything will be at least somewhat good to go. If it was more than just a slight bowing, I most likely would have to take the guitar apart or something like that. But I don't really want to do this. Do that because, yeah, this is, an experiment. It's supposed to be a fun thing. It's not really supposed to be super serious. But I do hope that this is going to turn out to be something cool that I can actually play and enjoy and maybe even make some music on, If this becomes a creative thing for me that I can use, to make awesome music, then that would be good. Basically, that's all there is to it. So I'm going to try to get the last bit of glue out of this bottle. I need to go buy new glue, but I haven't done that. I've been on the lazy side. There we have some glue. Let's try to smear it around. Smear, smear, smear. Smear, smear, smear that glue around. Someone make that into a song, please, please. And tag me. Smear, smear, smear that glue around. Come on, baby, I know you like that glue on the ground. Come on, baby, smear, smear, smear that glue around. Yeah, girl, I know you like it when the glue is on your... Never mind. Anyway, maybe don't make that into a song. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm crazy. Okay, so I'm going to put these screws in here, like so, and I'm going to line them these holes, like so. And then I'm going to take these washers, and I'm going to try get my hands in there and see if I can get them on there. As long as I get them started, we're good to go. And that one is on, and this one is also on. And yeah, I'm gonna take, just because it's probably a good idea, this can come out of the bag. I don't think I need them. I don't think we have to be that overkill. But I'm gonna pop these in just to make sure everything aligns the way I want them to. And also so that there isn't like too much glue going on. But I don't think I need to tighten down more than possibly one. And I'm just going to screw them in, and the washer and the nut and all of it, don't get away from me, will work together. Basically as a screwing down mechanism, so I don't need to try to get in here with a clamp or something. I can just use these. There we go. And now I'm just going to leave it like this and let it dry for... the glue needs 40 minutes before you can work with it again, and 24 hours until it's water resistant. So yeah, even though I probably could come back to this in 40 minutes, I'm gonna go do something else.
Alright, it's the next morning, and the moment of truth, or the truth of the moment, or probably some completely other way of saying nothing, is here. Let's start by removing these that we just popped in. Why don't you want to come out? Right, is the bridge on? I think it is. Okay, first off, straight, flat, perfect. Let's remove the clamps, and hopefully everything stays nice. Oh. Probably should have thought of that. Let's take some of these, whatever they're called, like feeler gauge or whatever they're called. Let's take something really, really, really thin. Here is 1/10 of an inch. Let's see if we can get it in anywhere. Is it still flat? No, not really. It bowed back. Can you see the light? All right. Let's see if we can get some of this fretboard oil on. I have it right here. My homebrew secret recipe. And let's just see if we can. I don't really know what to do. I mean, one part of me feels that maybe it's a good idea to just try to keep this fretboard dark, but another one is like, it's kind of obvious that it's been painted, especially if you're close like I am right now. But another part is like, yeah, well, you know, it doesn't matter. And another one is like, maybe it will look nice when you've played it for a year or two and the paint has worn off and you have some sort of relic thing going and it looks all beaten up or something. I don't know. It won't fit with the bridge any longer because the bridge isn't fake rosewood anymore. I don't even know if this will be able to suck up any finish through whatever paint this is, because I obviously don't really know what they've used. But for example, right here, I just want to, like, for example, scrape here a little bit and see what happens. And this is super light little scrapes, just to sort of clean this area up a little bit.
1,000 years later.
Okay, here you can see the fretboard right now. And I have to say, this look here right now, it is a little bit of like a rustic, dirty look, but I kind of like it. But it's not going to vibe with the rest of the guitar and what I'm going to do to it. So I was thinking, we'll see what happens if I put this mahogany. It's a little bit redder and a little bit lighter color than the bridge. But I'm thinking that maybe I put it on twice or something. Yeah. For a guy who don't really like the idea of staining a fretboard, I seem to be doing that a lot lately. I don't know. All my guitars are becoming stained wood guitars. It's a good thing that I don't really care about looks. I'm that one guy in the world who cares more about how a guitar sounds than a guitar looks. So the reason why I cut it like that is because now I have a perfect parallel all the way around. I mean, it's parallel to the back, so it still has the same thickness as before, but it's all good. And it's a perfect smooth cut. We didn't, do anything bad to the finish. It's all perfect. And now I can take a saw. I'm gonna take this. It's not maybe the right thing. A little Japanese saw would be better, but I've run out of blades and I've forgotten to get new ones. So I'm going to take this one, but I'm going to stay on the upper side. So I'm not going to try to cut close to this edge, which is what we're saving. I'm going to see if I can't plane it down to there later.
it's just you going in blind, you know, and it's better to kind of cut a little bit wonky because you never know. So yeah, let's see if I can do this side as well. There we go. Okay, let's put this off to the side. Here you can see. That's the inside. I don't actually know what this is. It's pretty cool though. Yeah, there's no tone wood here. We have a crack here in the spine, so we have to maybe we can press in some glue. Yeah, I'm gonna vacuum the inside here. Ugh, you got a bunch of old dirty grossness. Yeah, but if we take a look at it, just shake it off. You can vacuum the floor instead. I mean, I'm gonna vacuum in the here as well. I'm just gonna have to. But if we look here, you see all the cool X bracing or whatever it's called, you know. So I mean, like, it doesn't look good because it's kind of sloppy. I could come in here and carve these maybe. I don't think I'm going to do that because I don't think it's worth spending the time doing that, especially since, like, just look how rough all the wood is. It's like, it looks like the inside of a barn or something, like all the. And look at this, all the tear out right here as well. Oh, it's. Yeah. But you know, I don't know what this guitar, I mean, I've never heard of the brand. Or at least I don't think I have. I don't know what it's worth. But I bought this for like $5 or something. So, you know, roughly that. Obviously, we don't have the same currency here as in America, but you know. And now I'm trying to separate this piece here that is the back from the sides without it cracking like it did right there. So yeah, we're gonna have to like super glue that together again because I don't think there's any point in wasting new good binding on this. It's probably not gonna. This is what I wanted to save, and it broke off. So that's great. Because I'm thinking if we can just get this off, you know, then we can just pop the back on and glue it in place. But we do need the purfling or whatever it's called. See if I can. I'm thinking if I force this piece so that this is what is breaking, then maybe I won't have this issue again. I don't think that's going to matter because we're just going to pop this in here and just put a little bit of glue on it and then force it back into place. So I doubt we're going to have an issue, but if I can, I'm going to try to not have it break. Alright, so now I've cleaned up the sides, and except for a couple of binding parts that broke off, I am happy. It was easier to do than I thought it would be. And now I'm just gonna use this plain piece of wood over the sides to just cut this down and make it smooth, and then also to remove this bit that are sticking out right here because it's in the way. The frame or whatever you want to call the backside needs to lie up here next to this. So yeah, we're just gonna take a router and just something like that, and then we'll just take the rasp and clean it up, or at least try to. It would be easier to work on acoustic guitars if you had, you know, made a workshop for doing that. But as you guys know, I don't do that much acoustic guitar. We have to do the same thing here, put this here, and then just clip this top. There we go. Alright, so I've put the back on and see that everything works, and I'm just gonna rough up the sides here with a little bit of sandpaper just so we have something to glue on, because you can't, I don't think you can see it at least, but we have a little bit of like glue runs and things from before. Whoever made this guitar before, you know? So I'm just gonna take some 60 grit and just scuff off. Alright, so we have two pieces that are not perfect, and I want to fix them before we glue on the back. So we have this piece that fell off, and we have here where the glue kind of gave up. So I'm going to put in a little bit of glue here. I'm going to try to align it so that it looks nice, and I'm going to put 2 clamps on it to just hold it in place, and then I'm just going to leave this piece alone. And it's just because we're going to put glue on this surface here and put it up against the wall of the guitar, and if this is flopping about like this, you know, and flexing, then you know, it's not actually going to get really glued in place. So I'm hoping doing this first will make it a little bit easier to put it in place, you know, when it's when this surface here then is getting glued to the back. So yeah, I'm gonna just flex this back a little bit and see if I can squeeze out some wood glue. Come on. There's something stuck in it. It looks like something's stuck. These lids that these glue cans come with are really good in the beginning, and you feel like, oh, I'm never gonna get clogged up. But then, you know, life happens and you accidentally knock this over and you leave it lying on the floor or something, or lying down on the workbench. And you think it's not gonna matter, but it does matter, because I think this can only work for its intended purpose if it's left to stand up. So a little bit of glue, press it up against the edge. I'm going to try to feel it with my finger and put these little tiny clamps on. They are shit clamps, and that's why you saw part of it fly away. I'm not gonna like bother. It says that after, on the package I think it says 45 minutes, and then the glue is dried. So I'm gonna leave it for at least, I don't know,
10,000 years.
We have some other places where we need to worry about the glue as well. For example, some binding that needs to be glued back down. But I'm thinking once everything is in place, it's going to be easier. Here we have a clamp. Once everything is in place, I think it's going to be easier to just worry about the glue then, you know? So I'm going to just, I'm just going to glue this in place. It's either too little or too much. Never quite right. Something like that. I'm just going to leave these clamps now. Yeah, we'll see. I don't really know how long we'll wait, but we'll wait a little bit and we'll see what happens. The glue has dried. I let it actually dry for a bit longer than I was thinking of, because I started watching a show and I just I lost track of time a little bit, you know? So I'm just going to take some sandpaper. This is 80 grit sandpaper. I don't feel like we need to do anything else. And I'm just going to sand and rough up this area too now. And it's mostly just to make sure that we can get some sort of glue bond, you know? We're going to use Gorilla Glue, which maybe you saw that I already did, but we're going to continue doing that. And I would be surprised if whatever they used for this guitar is of that kind of quality. So I think we're going to be good. So we have our glue, we have our piece. I'm going to move the camera back a bit and hopefully you can see a little bit better. So let's start by putting on a decent amount. And we are going to get some squeeze out, and we're going to have to do a bit of cleanup afterwards. There's just no way that we won't. So yeah, and then some glue there and some glue there. It's always annoying when you have glue on your hands. Yeah. Just go around and try to... Don't be a rascal. We're gonna have to do all the glue cleanup later, which is, it sucks a little bit, but it's gonna work. Just gonna put a couple of clamps. I hope I won't have to put too many clamps because I don't have enough clamps, which, I mean, can you have enough clamps? Another. There we go. Okay, okay. I think that looks good. Okay, so while some other things are drying, I'm going to put this veneer on here because this looks boring, and I was first thinking I'd paint it black, you know, like the Ramones song. That was a joke. You're supposed to laugh at that. It's not a Ramones song. Let me know in the comments below if you know who made Paint It Black. Because if you, I mean, otherwise you're kind of silly, you know. It's not hard to know. Anyway, I'm gonna put this veneer on. Just try to align it here, like so. And then, no, you don't want to be aligned. You want to be a bit of a rascal. Just press it out, peel it off, press it out, peel it off, and just go like this, and just... It has an adhesive backing, which, I mean, was probably obvious since I didn't put any glue or any clamps or anything. But yeah, there we go. Let's see now, if I turn this around, and maybe we can start off by just cutting some of it off. Do I have a scissor? I used to have a scissor. Where are you? There you are. Nothing is ever where it is, and if it is, it will make other things fall as well. So first, we just cut. You cut off roughly, you know, so that we are a couple of mils away. So I'll do it on this side as well. And then we should, I'm just going to press on this a little bit more. We should be able to take a razor blade and cut it along. So let's see if we can do that. So, razor blade. So there we have it. And that looks nice, I think. We can take a little bit of sandpaper. Let's see if I have some. I might not even have any sandpaper. That was also a joke. Of course I have sandpaper. This is 180. We don't need more than that at the moment. Just gonna hit this edge just a little bit from this side. I'm not pulling back and forth. I'm just sort of hitting it. That's just because I don't want to accidentally peel it up. But if we do a bit of a round over, then whatever lacquer we put over all of this will create that edge. Alright, so here is the guitar right now. I know it doesn't look pretty, we have some stains and everything. I try not to pay attention to that too much. Here's the neck, I've sanded it a bit at least. We'll see if I continue sanding it more. But anyway, I have some lacquer stain right here. It's a little, it's like a mahogany or something. What is it? Yeah, mahogany. So I was thinking that we'll put this on, and I don't know if it's, you know, gonna match perfectly, but it's better than nothing, maybe. And so, yeah, I might have to sand it back, and yeah, we'll see. I'll come back once I've finished this. So while the neck is drying, I think you can see it a little bit. I'm not completely happy with that. It doesn't really match. So I'm gonna sand it back, see if I can find something redder, and continue. But while we wait for whatever I put on to dry, we need to clean up this little area here where there has been a little bit of glue squeeze out, so that the piece of binding that broke off or pieces, because we have 3, can get glued back on. I think this is the first piece right there. So yeah, I just need to just come in here and just lift up that little bit of squeeze out that we have, and I'll do that to the entire piece. Alright, so now it's time to glue on. I'm just going to take regular super glue and just try to match everything up. And yeah, I'm just going to have a little bit of tape here and just hold it in place with tape. And yeah, hopefully this is going to work out. We'll see. Something like that. And then just an extra drop here to solidify this breakage here. I can come in with a little bit of acetone and fix that even more later, but first off, make sure everything is actually down. So yeah, okay. Can we figure out which is the next part? I think this one goes there, because we need something more bent, and I think this might be it. Yeah. Okay. So we ready our tape. Let's see if we can get rid of some of this tape. And yeah, we have a little bit of cleanup we have to do. A little bit of acetone, a little bit of everything. And then over here as well. Something like that. Okay. And then the razor blade, and just I'm having a little bit of lacquer come with here now, but I think that if I care to, I'm gonna have to repaint the entire guitar. And the reason why I think that is because I doubt that I'm able to color match the sides and the neck. I feel it, you know, sort of in my bones. I just feel it. It's not gonna happen, you know. But also, I'm not sure I'll be able to get these stains on. They've been on the guitar for far too long. I think that they've just become a part of it. I don't think I'll ever get rid of them. So I think I'm gonna have to repaint the top. Also, this is a very bland and boring top, so I probably will wanna repaint it anyway. Holy crap, I'm doing a good job. I'm doing a bad job.
I know what I'm all about, son.
Let's pretend, you know, you'll have to be on my side in this and argue with everyone else, because we are, you know, we're besties. That I did all this mess up here, that was on purpose, and that I just wanted it like that. Like it's an aesthetic choice. I'm not completely insane and failing. I am expressing myself in an art style that few understands, except the two of us, really. Alright, so I'm going to sand the top of the guitar now, because I decided, while I was doing a little bit of cleanup, that I'm going to paint the guitar. So, or rather, I'm going to paint the top of the guitar. So I'm just going to sand the top with some, what is this? Is it 12,000? No, 1,200. Anyway, I'm just gonna sand it. And I'm just sanding it enough so that the new paint that I'm going to put on top can have something to bite into. So I'm not going to like overdo this or anything. I'm just gonna go back and forth like this and try to get close and clean this off. What I'm looking for is a matte finish. because then I know I've sanded it. So I'm gonna quickly dry it off, and then I'm gonna hold it up to the light like this, and yeah, that looks pretty good. A little bit more over there, I think. Where did I put that paper? You're not going anywhere. Okay, so first off, a piece of tape across here, as close to the body as we can. And then the same thing here. Piece of tape that just goes around. Just place that in here and fold this over. Okay, next thing. I don't really want a bunch of paint in here. I mean, I don't care about the logo, but it's probably... I need to clean this off before we paint it. Remind me of that. Balloon in here, just a little bit of air, and then you blow it up a little bit extra, and then we tie a knot, something like that, and now it's in there. And then a little bit of water, because I felt like I was about to forget to clean it off. Just a rag, clean, something like that, and then dry it off a little bit. I'm gonna go paint this, and I'll be right back once I've done it. Here I have a spray can. There you can see the color. So yeah, if you know, you know. Wait, oh my god, I almost forgot. Phew, good thing you stopped me before I did something stupid. We should put masking tape on the side as well. We'll scrape the binding afterwards to get it to be all free from paint. I'm gonna go paint this and I'll be right back.
No.
So here it is. Painted it. I hope you can see what color it is and that you remember what guitar this comes from. But anyway, okay, what we need to do is remove the tape before it dries so much that it like leaves a thing. So just cut this, or poke a hole maybe, something like that. See if we can make that hole a little bigger, so that this air goes out a little quicker. There we go. So just put that on the floor for now. Okay. There we go. The first bit of tape. Something like that. And then we have that side. We have a little bit of cleanup we have to do on the side, but we'll do that once the paint has been left to dry for a little bit longer. Something like that. Here we go. And then the bridge here as well. Alright, so I need to do a little bit of scraping here. I cleaned up the sides somewhat. Probably could do a better job, but we have this joint right here. You can see it right there. It doesn't go together very well. A lollipop stick, broken in half, glued together so just enough of this razor blade sticks out. I hope you can see it. Can you see it? And now I can just hub this. I'll see if I can show you. Do you see this? If I hub it up here against the edge, and I just let that scrape in to the paint, then it can't go any further in. So I'm just gonna go and scrape like this, and yeah, hopefully you can already see like here. Can you see that? Right there. How scraping that reveals the binding on the top, and yeah, I'll do that all around, and then we'll try to come up with, I don't know. I don't actually know what next step is going to be, because I don't even know if there is a next step. Maybe maybe next step is putting strings on this and playing it and see what happens.
No.
I don't actually know what I'm doing. Okay? That's the truth. I feel like I've said that a couple of times now. But the longer I keep this guitar around, the more I feel like it's becoming obvious to myself, at least, that I don't know. So, I don't know. I just feel like this headstock shouldn't be too bright. So I'm dyeing it again. Sloppy work. This guitar is not turning out the way I thought it would. But then again, I don't know what I was thinking. So I've decided, after thinking for a couple of minutes, that I'm going to sand the edge here a little bit. Just to make it a little bit smoother. And then I'm also going to give this top a little bit of a relic. Just enough so that it matches the back, because I messed up the back a little bit too much. So what I'm thinking is, I'll just clean this off a little bit, and it will reveal something interesting, but it will be very subtle, and it will not be like a super big thing. I don't know if you can tell. You look at those edges. There's a little bit of scratches now because I just sanded it. I'm going to put a little bit of buffing on, but there's a little bit of something interesting happening at the end. Or I mean, interesting is obviously, it's like a point of, it's whatever you think, you know, if you like it or if you don't like it. So I'm thinking maybe if I take something a little bit more abrasive. And then we hit with the Psalm 12 again. And we take our buffing compound and our Dremel and we just give this a quick little once over. Just go around the edges. We don't have to do too much, I think. Like that. And then a little bit of just trying to be somewhat quick about it. Now I wasn't planning on like doing a relic or anything like that, so don't come at me with like, oh, you ruined it or anything. It was already beaten up and ruined before. I'm just making the front match the rest by adding a little bit of wear and tear here and there. You have the orange, and then there is some pink underneath, and it's like scratched up. You can sort of see the other paint underneath, just barely, very faintly pick through, you know. Now that I say it, it probably is more noticeable. The reason why I did that is because when I painted it orange once, realized I don't have enough paint to cover this and do it properly. So I painted it with the pink from my 12 string. I had a little bit left from that, and I was thinking, hey, I could use that to fill up, and then I can just do a light coat of the orange over, and that will be good to go. It will be, you know, enough. So yeah, I feel like these threads are a little bit sharp now, so I'm gonna take a look at those. I don't know. Do you guys want to see that? I don't think you want to see that. It's just regular setup things that everyone knows how to do by now. Alright, so next thing is we have to screw the screws in and put these tuners back on. And hopefully that will go smoothly. I feel like I'm going to put the strings on now and we'll just see what happens. And if everything turns out great, you know, that would be great. But, you know, if it sounds terrible or something, then I don't know. I'm going to take a break anyway and just, you know, play the guitar for a bit. So even if it immediately sounds terrible or something, I'll still play it so that I have something to think about while I'm trying to come up with the next step in whatever it is I'm doing. Because I feel like sometimes maybe that's the right way to go. Because maybe it will be a very thin sounding acoustic guitar, and maybe I won't like that. I don't know. Okay, so here is the guitar right now. This is what it looks like. It has a light relic on its copper top. Here's the headstock. I didn't do anything really with that. And here's the back, you know, the colored, the sort of worn out relic kind of look. I went with a relic look just because I messed up so many steps. And here's the back, you know, a little scuffed. This corner here is slanted in when I clamped this corner too much. I should have realized that I hadn't glued on the binding yet, so I should have either done that first or clamped this one, you know, more securely, but not as hard, because as you can see that it's all wonky. Yeah, and then here's the front. Okay, so it has strings on. The action is a little wonky as well because I need to fine tune it a little bit, but I'm thinking I'll play just a little bit and you get to hear it. I am surprised myself. I thought a guitar like this would, I don't know. To me, it doesn't really feel that different, you know? I've cut the body, you know, down in half basically. Not quite, but almost. And yeah, it sounds pretty good to me. So yeah, here is a tiny little sound demo of the guitar. And keep in mind the strings are new. The tuners are the crappy tuners this guitar came with. I might upgrade to something better. We'll see. But at this moment, yeah, if it goes out of tune, I know some of you are really annoyed when things go out of tune. Please just be patient with me. I don't know what I'm doing, but there you have it. Here it is with a pick. Again, this strings needs a little extra stretching, and you know, as they get played in a little bit, they'll be rounded out and sound a little bit nicer. Or I think that the rounded sound that comes with strings getting to be a week or so old makes it sound nicer. But anyway, here it is with a pick, acrylic, you know, whatever they're called, pick. The string height around here is a little bit too high. So yeah, I don't know what to say. I find it odd that acoustic guitar, I mean, obviously, maybe it's just that this guitar, it can't sound better or worse, you know, it's an inexpensive guitar. I don't know, if I did this to like a really nice, expensive Martin or a Taylor or something, maybe I'd really hear the disaster that I have created. And now it's kind of like, you know, whatever. The guitar is made of whatever it is made out of, and it would just be whatever it is anyway. So, I don't know. If any of you are acoustic builders, for example, maybe you can chime in on why I don't feel like anything really happened with me cutting down this guitar. I mean, it's very comfortable, you know, to sit with an acoustic guitar that is so thin. And I kind of almost wish that I had done it even thinner now. Like really thin. Like, you know, maybe 2-3 centimeters, you know, something like that. We are currently, I mean, it is different thicknesses on both sides, but on the thicker side, we're at about 5.5, and on the thicker side, we're about 8 centimeters. So it is roughly half. Anyway, yeah, that's the guitar right now. I'm gonna take a look at it, play it a little bit, and try to
come up with whatever I want to do to it now, because I feel like I don't know, maybe I should do something funky with it. You know, maybe I should add some electronics, a humbucker, or something. I don't know. I'm gonna play the guitar at least for a week. So yeah, we'll see if I do anything more with it or not. Yeah, I'm gonna move the camera a little bit closer so you get an even nicer sound. Whoa! Yeah, so I've been thinking about this guitar now for about 2-3 weeks, somewhere there, and I honestly don't really know what to do with it. I'm amazed by how good it sounds, all things considered. I honestly thought the sides mattered more than they apparently do. Maybe the whole tone wood thing or constructions of guitar don't really even matter when it comes to acoustic guitars, and we're just making things up as we go along. I don't know. I feel like it's okay, especially considering things like the bridge. You know, like it has a plastic bridge, it has a plastic nut. I didn't do a particularly well job because this is just an experiment. I mean, it's a fine setup on this guitar, but I haven't really, you know, put that much time into doing it. But anyway, I'm thinking, let's do an experiment or something. Let's see what else we can do to this guitar. Maybe I should stop here, you know? But I do have this box right here, and it's full of different springs. And maybe it could be a little bit like having a spring tank in your acoustic. Let's jump into doing that and see. I mean, I don't even know how we would do it. So, yeah. Alright, so this is the experiment that I have in my head right now. I pulled at some springs in the box, and I think these are sort of loosey-goosey, not high, very much tension. I think 2 will be good. So I have a set of 6 springs here. Yeah. And the idea is very simple. I'm going to glue in these brackets on the inside here where these brackets are. I don't even think you can see in the guitar, but like but right here is one of the supporting beams, or whatever you call them. And I'm going to try to fiddle this thing in here. Now, this is just a piece of wood that I've cut to size, and I've drilled holes and I've hammered in some nails. They go all the way through. and then I'll cut them here. And it's just because I think that will be more stable. So I'm just gonna try to push this one in to this side here with a little bit of glue and some clamps. I don't know if there's even a point in me filming this, because I don't see how I could make this watchable, you know. But I'm gonna film it, and I don't know, maybe something funny will happen. I don't know.
No.
So basically now the idea is leave this to dry for about 40 minutes. That's when the glue should be strong enough. And then take off the clamps. I'm going to tug a little bit at them to just make sure that I can't pull them off. And then we'll see if we can load these springs over the nails. And we'll play the guitar and see if it sounds cool. If it sounds cool, great. Then we have a addition to the guitar. Here's the guitar now. I've taken the clamps off. The glue has at least dried somewhat. It's going to take 24 hours for it to dry completely, but it's supposed to be workable after 40, so we should be good to go. I have been tucking a little bit at it from outside here, and yeah, here is what the guitar sounds like right now. I don't feel like adding these has done anything. Anyway, so now I'm gonna see if I can get in there and add these springs, and we'll do a before and after sound check, and then we'll see if it sounds cool. I feel like, you know, obviously I think that nice, beautifully handcrafted instruments are super cool. You know, I build my own guitars as well. Obviously, you guys know that probably already. If you're watching this, messed up immediately. I should probably see if I can find a tool for this. Come on. Oh my god, this is taking forever. There we go. Okay, so now they're in. Let's see what happens. Maybe I should have put them on the top. Wait. Yeah, I probably should have. Though how I would have done that. Let's see, can we get these out? I mean, that sounds cooler. Like when I pluck this. And when I pluck this. Yeah, come on, stop. So maybe having just one spring is better. Managed to get the second one on. Can you even see any of it? Okay, the last one that was super problematic. Hopefully I can get it on without too much fuss. There we go. Finally. Took forever. Okay, now they're all on. I don't think that did anything. Did it? I don't even know what it is I'm actually hoping for. You know? So this is my new experiment. What if I put a pickup here and I put a speaker here? I'm gonna have to make a little holder that I glue in here from here. But that's easy. I can just take a piece of wood and sort of glue it like that. So that shouldn't be an issue. And then we take this thing that I have. Come on, get out of there. Then we take this thing here. This is a little LM386 amplifier. If you've seen my other pedal videos where I take little LM board things and I turn them into pedals, then this is basically the same thing. The only difference is this one is cleaner. And I bought this to turn it into a pedal, but the thing is, I wasn't inspired to do so. I didn't think that was something that was necessarily interesting, so I never did it. But I'm thinking now, the fact that it's cleaner might help. So first off, we have this thing here, and the 9-volt battery thing is going to get attached over here. So it has a marking, so you don't have to have me show you. It just says plus, DC plus and DC minus. And if you have a battery clipper like this, you know that the red one is the plus and the black one is the minus, or ground. Okay, let's see here. Here is speaker. So it should just be these two wires that needs to get connected. And it is the speaker as well. It doesn't necessarily matter in this particular situation that we have right now, but it has also a symbol, one that has a plus and one that is a minus. And we're just gonna see if we can't attach the plus to the plus and the minus to the minus. Now, before I do anything else, I'm gonna see, do I have a battery? Let's plug it in and see if the lights turns on. Oh, it does. And the speaker works. Here we have the pickup. And I mean, on some level, I know that this is gonna work, obviously, because I mean, like, we're basically just building a guitar and an amp, and you know, it's just, you know, skipping the part of having them not be two separate entities. You could definitely build an amp into a guitar. You've probably seen those like cheap little kids guitar things that come with a built-in speaker into the guitar. It's an electric thing. I've never actually played one of those, so I'm not going to say that they're bad, because I mean, you should play every guitar you can and then judge them. And you know, if it's something fun that gets the kids playing guitar, then it might be the best thing ever, actually, and not a bad thing at all. There we go, that's that cable. But the experiment basically that I'm trying to come up with here is, if I'm gonna fill up the hole with a speaker and a pickup, then I might be in for a surprise when I notice that, hey, this is not possible, and I'm what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say when I'm noticing that having them next to each other in line will create a bunch of feedbacks. It's something that I think will happen, but you never know. I haven't experimented with this, so I'm gonna bring you in for a closer look now. So here we have the pickup and the speaker and the controller here. We should try to maybe put something in between them just so that we have a little bit of space, because they do want to touch each other. So maybe I have something that I can use, a piece of wood or something. Because obviously if they touch, that's gonna mess things up, I'm pretty sure. We need a little bit of space. Maybe this foam. Can you see that? Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's see what happens if we plug in a battery. Oh. Yeah. Ah. I've spoken to a couple of you in the comments, one of you in particular, who wants to make like feedback loop synth things out of pedals. Here you have this is a perfect thing for you. You could even maybe take a smaller microphone thing so that it's a little bit easier to play with, and then you could just because now, for example, when the microphone is a little bit further away, we don't have that issue. So yeah, but as soon as this comes into play, okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop messing with this. No, actually what I'm gonna do
is I'm going to do another experiment. I'm going to put this foam right here. I'm going to put this pickup right there. I'm going to plug this in. And I'm going to measure. If I bring this up to max volume. Okay. So if it's like this, it can go real close. But it's, yeah, you can hear. So how far? Okay. That's exactly on the edge. See? There somewhere. Maybe a little bit more. There. Can you hear that? There's like that little movement. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but I can hear the beginning of feedback. So somewhere around there. Oh. Actually, the strings might mess this up. Oh. Ooh. Well. Farting speaker. What if we put this in the guitar and this... Wait a second. Okay. So if we put them next to each other, we have to be about 12 centimeters away. Ooh. Which, from my measurement on the guitar right now, means that I will have to cut out a new hole. Obviously that hole could just be a hole for this little thing here. Oi. I need to stop. I'm having too much fun. But what if... Oh, come on. What if we put it here and we put this further in? Then we don't have the issue with the feedback. That might actually be cool. So, how tall is this? I'm going to plug this out. Okay, because the thing is, this needs to be able to move. You know, you don't want this touching the back of the guitar. Or maybe we do, I don't know. I don't think we do. So, how high is this? This is 2.8. Which means that if I put this maybe on stilts that are maybe 3 high or something, then we have a couple of mils, maybe 3.5 or something. Now the question is, because I have these wooden dowels, I could maybe I could just screw them into those and then glue those in.
1,000 years later.
Alright, so here's the plan. I have the speaker here. I just put some dowels on, just a quick drill and a screw, nothing special. And that's, you know, just because it's easy, and I could also remove it very easily. And I'm just going to put a little bit of wood glue on these tops. I hope no one who actually like builds acoustic guitars is watching this video, because I feel like maybe they will, you know, they'll die of fright or something, I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do this to like a super nice, expensive guitar. I promise you. Okay, some of you know that I'm lying right now to be nice to the people who like acoustic guitars. I would do this to anything. Anyway, let's see if I can get this in here without smearing glue everywhere. I know I probably maybe should have taken off the strings, but I didn't really feel like it. So, yeah. That's why I didn't do it. Here we go. It's in. There it is. Can I put a piece of foam across this? I don't need this to be like super clamped in place, but I'm thinking if I put a bit of foam over here like so, then maybe that could help. I mounted a speaker cable. I did the same on the pickup. Just soldered the wires in place. You didn't need to see that because you obviously already know that. And it's just, I hope it's going to help with feedback and things like that if the cables in there are a little bit better. There we go. That's just a little thing we need. Then let's enlarge that hole a little bit. Let's see here. Can I put this one back? So there we are, 6 mil. And then here we go to 7. There we have it. Okay, let's be careful here so that we don't just plunge straight into the guitar. I'm a little off center on the picture, but there we go. And yeah, that's all we need for now. Okay, so here I can feel there's the hole somewhere around there. Yeah. Should we put something down maybe so that we don't mess this up? Or should we just wing it? Anyway, I'm gonna install this. Okay, so I kind of messed up. Two things that I didn't take into consideration when I decided to cut this hole out. The first one is there is a spline or whatever they call going here, so I cut into it. So I've compromised the integrity of the guitar. And the second one is the blade on the jigsaw kind of smashed the top here a little bit. I should have obviously measured that and make sure I didn't do that, but I did. So yeah, very sort of noobish mistakes that I don't think you're supposed to do or make or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna feed this cable here now over here. I'm gonna take this and hold it up here and just align and poke with an awl, and then see, can we find a drill bit? Yes, we can, just like Robbie Williams. And then just drill these 2 holes. I'm going to start by screwing in these screws. I feel like I'm making mistakes that I haven't done in I maybe never even made these mistakes, I don't know, to be honest. But then again, usually I kind of plan out what I'm going to do and don't just willy-nilly go crazy on a guitar. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put a navigator clipper or something here just to hold onto them a little bit. We need to unsolder these 2 cables and attach longer cables because we obviously need a little bit of wiggle room. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna hold this up to the side of the guitar. You can't. I can hold it this side. You can't see that either. This side, and pull it up a bit. So if they're this long, then we have a little bit of wiggle room for taking the battery out. You know, we don't want to have to pull super far, but we also don't want to have to be like super close to the guitar and barely getting the thing out and all of that. You know, it just that's gonna be super annoying. So yeah, I'm gonna. Best thing to do would be to put in a new battery holder. This thing, you know. But the problem with that is, then I would have to have one. And you guessed right, I don't. I don't have one. Okay, let's see here. We have to cut these wires back a little bit. Can we figure out which one is which? You know? Like, oh, why did I do that? This is the pickup. Right? Yeah. Let's cut it back a little bit. Like maybe there. And then let's strip it back a little bit as well, obviously. I say obviously, but I mean I hope it is obvious to all of you, because we have to get to the actual wire that is inside of this very hard to cut through cable. And then let's peel this back. Come on. This is just the shield. We don't need to deal with that. And then we have the lead and the ground, and this time the ground is a black wire. Isn't a black wire, it's a white wire. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you have any stupid thoughts about color, then I just put that to rest. So you know. Okay, this is the pick up, so that it needs to go here on the back here. Yeah, over here. This is the red wire is the red wire.
And then that means that this has to be the speaker. So I cut off the excess. We strip this back as well. We can. And there's the speaker. And it's just a matter of attaching these two wires there, the plus and the minus. And that's our positive and our negative. Or at least I think so. Anyway. That's that. Let's take these alligator clippers off so that this whole thing can sort of just fall into place. But we're gonna have to try and wiggle this in here somehow. It's gonna be a little bit fiddly. There we go. I got it. Can we just poke this in here and screw it on? Wait, did I take off the nuts? Oh my god. Come on. See if I can get it out. It's gonna be some fiddling to get it out. Come on. Honestly, what the hell? See? I knew I didn't do it. There's so many things for the trolls in this video. It's not even funny. Anyway, let's see what happens. Can we get this in there? Move you across. The hole is basically right over, so I'm hoping that I don't have to like feed a wire in through the top to you know, access things. I can just sort of maybe I can just poke it into place. There we go. I actually did it. There it is. And all we need to do now is put this washer. Come on. This washer. I can't speak. I can't drill. I can't saw. I can't file. I can't do anything today. I've been working on this for too long. I think that's just the answer. Where are you? Why aren't you biting? Okay. Now I got it to stick, and all it took was sacrificing my thumb. It hurts like hell. Something like that. Okay, it's on. I'm gonna just see if I can put some super glue there. I think I have some super glue. Okay, let's see which one of these actually has glue in it. Oh, this one. It kind of sucks to have to do that, but it's better than it breaking. So something like that. Just poke around and get the glue to stick. So something like that. Where did I put that knob? There we go. I think that's something. And if we want to, we can also add more controls later on. There we have that. Okay. Okay. Let's take this thing. Pull. I need a little bit of tape. Do I? Because I want to cover up these two. I could have put some heat shrink over, but then I would have to try to find some, and it's not worth trying. So I'm just gonna take a piece of tape. This is electrical tape for anyone who can't tell. And I'm just gonna put it over one side and just sort of, no, don't get stuck to me. Bend it over so it's isolated, and then take the other one and just hold it up to where the other one was. And then just tape them both together. So now that should not be an issue. And then we'll feed it through this, I think, or something like that. And then feed this through here and press it into place. And obviously we have a little bit of cracking and things that maybe that makes this look a little wonky, but that's okay. Something like that. Cool. I'm gonna tune the guitar real quick, and I'll be right back. So a string broke, trying to tune it. I also have some sort of weird mess up with the E string. So yeah, I don't know. Nothing's going the way I want it to. But let's plug in this battery and feed these cables into the guitar and see what happens when we play the few strings we do have that are on the guitar, but also that aren't broken. Come on, get in there. Maybe. Okay. Is something okay? Nothing's happening. Is this not? Okay. It doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? I mean, the LED was lighting up, right?
Yeah. Wait. Oh, now it's working. Wait, was the battery somehow? Ignore this G string. For now, let's see, can we just remove it real quick? Something like that. Oh. Maybe the strings, maybe it needs to be closer to the strings. Is this anything? Is this something? Well, that's the end of this video. Hold up. I'm back. Okay, it's been about a month, 2, since I last recorded. And I was editing the video. Took forever to get to this point. And I just felt like, you know, the ending is not that nice. It's not that good. I'm ending on a sour note. And I don't want to do that. And so I thought, is there anything I can do to make this maybe...
No.
I don't know. I mean, I do realize that maybe it could be kind of cool to have that rattling sort of fuzzy sound and then just roll the volume back and it turns into an acoustic guitar. If you set things up right, you know, that could be a thing. But let's keep on experimenting. I remembered that I have an exciter laying around. Now, it's too big for what we're doing. I tried to fit it inside the guitar, couldn't. So I put it on top of the guitar. It doesn't look beautiful, but I'm thinking if this sounds cooler, if this is something that is actually something I want, then I'm gonna experiment. I'm probably gonna experiment anyway, but I will prioritize it more if I think it's actually cool than if I don't. So yeah, I'm thinking getting 2 new exciters that are way smaller and put them here, but on the inside. So one over here and one over there, and have the wires inside and then just mess around. So yeah. I also changed the strings. It ended on, you know, the G string, I think it was, breaking. And I was kind of just bummed out and I didn't have the energy to just go put on new strings. But I, you know, after 2 months, I managed to get the energy back to put strings on. But this time I actually put electrical strings on for an electric guitar instead of acoustic strings. And that's just because this pickup is a Strat pickup, you know, or a Strat copy pickup. And I'm thinking, since they are made to work with pickups better, maybe that will work with the pickup better. Yes, I hope that makes sense. Anyway, it's an experiment. We're gonna try. So 2 new things: the exciter over here instead of the speaker in there, and the strings that are electrical strings. So yeah, and so now I'm gonna plug in a battery so that this thing starts up. I'm gonna roll the volume back, I think. I need to get a better knob because this one keeps falling off. It's not, it doesn't fit perfectly, but I'm gonna roll the volume off and we're gonna plug this in and we're just gonna take a listen. Hopefully this is exciting. I hope this is exciting. I hit the pickup with a screwdriver to make sure that I could get some sound before, but obviously that doesn't tell you anything about the sound. I have an LED on the inside here so I can see that it starts lighting up. So here's the guitar. Roll in the volume. Yeah, it sounds about the same, which is unfortunately what I thought it would do. Maybe if I just take a look at the pickup, I can raise the pickup a little bit. Give me a sec. Let's see what happens if we raise the pickup a little bit. Yeah, it's feedbacking a little bit. But that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I'm gonna move, drop the battery again, and the knob fell off. I'm gonna move the camera down so that it is straight in front of the camera. But before then, I want to just say, you know, you gotta just have fun, experiment, do things. If you buy an inexpensive guitar and you totally destroy it, maybe you learned something and had some fun. We shouldn't let these tool things become too precious. Obviously, if you've made a bunch of music and you have a guitar that you've bonded with, that's a different thing. But other than that, don't let it go to your head. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks so much for watching. If you find experiments and things like that interesting, there are gonna be more videos on that topic. And yeah, subscribe if you're not subscribed and ring the bell for notification. Give this video a thumbs up if you managed to get to this point. Some channels have like special secret words you can say if you get through the video. So write hopscotch if you feel like that's... I never understand why people do that. But anyway, you can do that if you want to. Anyway, yeah, I'll move the camera down. Until next time, don't forget to stay awesome and cool and go and play guitar. Experiment with making it sound awful.